This week, Baker Orange staff member Melissa Kolle sat down with head women's wrestling coach and Baker University alumnus Kit Harris to uncover the unique history of Liston Stadium. Growing up in Baldwin City, Kit's connection to the stadium began long before he was a Baker student.
My dad came here to be a football and baseball coach. Football, of course, played on the field here, and baseball field is right there, and he was coaching both sports. And so we first moved here, and then he started right away doing practices. Back then they'd have 2-a-days and 3-a-days in August. It was super hot, but I always came out. And I was a little kid, but I would help with the team stuff, whatever they needed. We had a little golf cart we'd drive around and help bring water coolers and whatever my dad wanted us to run around and go and get for the team. I was at all the practices, just kind of watching and being part of it. Yeah, it's got a pretty amazing history. The coolest thing about it is its history is that it's built by players, by football players. And this during the Depression, nobody has any money, there's no funding for a new stadium. The coach, Melissa Liston, who was the founder of the NEI, coincidentally, was her coach. When the stadium had about 20, maybe 30 players. They just kind of hitchhiked from wherever and came here to help build the stadium by hand. They weren't skilled laborers, but they'd learned quick and built this place for 25 cents an hour scholarship money to help pay for the schooling and to play football. And then they also had some memorials to some Baker students who had fallen during World War I. So I think there's memorials around this wall here with those Baker students' names on it. And here to this day, here it is, almost 100 years later, still the home of Baker football, the winningest program in NEI history. Yeah, the history of it looks the same, but over the years, the seats are different. And then, of course, there was a new scoreboard, and that scoreboard became old. And there's another new scoreboard, which looks really awesome. We had it for a game last week, and it's amazing. It's going to be a really cool addition to the experience here, the atmosphere. Then, of course, the track. Earlier, when I was younger, it was a cinder track. And then, of course, the turf field. All my friends are football guys. The team won 9, 10, 11 games every single year. They're in the playoffs every year, the Final Four. And so over here, the student section is pretty loud and rowdy and fun. It's kind of cool, unique student section experience because you're in the end zone. Great place to watch a game. You're kind of away from the parents. You can say whatever you want. The opposing team has to run right by you to go to their locker and come in and out. And that's always kind of fun and interesting. And they're all, there's student sections are pretty packed, and they're cheering on their friends. And game ends, they're rushing on the field and jumping around with their peers and celebrating what usually is a win. And then, of course, the stands are always packed. It's a great game day environment. The cheerleaders, the dance team, the music, the crowd. It's an awesome. There's always tailgating before the game in the parking lot. There's that grass field over there has tents and tailgates and parents and alumni that still come back to this day pretty much every home game. It's got a pretty awesome small college game day experience, I think. You always hear the fight song every game, multiple times a game, because they play it when they score. We tend to score a lot, so you hear that song a lot. We've always had one of the best cheer teams, dance teams around, and they're lining up the entire sidelines. And that's an awesome part of our game day experience. The band, the marching band. I think that the traditions are the entire student body is somehow involved, it seems like, between journalists, athletic trainers, working in the press box, the game day crew, the band, cheer, dance, and of course the players in the field and the student section. Such a huge part of the student body is here experiencing it, somehow making it a great place to be on Saturdays. There's probably not one person in this community that can't say that they haven't been out here for something, an event, a game. Maybe their children or their neighbors, their friends, or played here and they came and watched them play, or the Baker games. That PA system's pretty loud, so pretty much all the blocks surrounding here hear every single game and score. And it's right here in the middle part of town, and I think everybody in this town probably can say that they've experienced the stadium in one way or another. People just come here and work out too. They walk in the mornings or exercise and run. Our track teams, our cross-country teams work out here. I've been having my wrestling team come out in the mornings, and there's women's basketball, men's basketball, flag football, track, cross-country, all out here doing conditioning workouts. And so it's kind of a place we all use in many ways. Charlie Richard is a name. You can't do this video without mentioning Charlie Richard's name for sure. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame, not the small college, but the College Football Hall of Fame. He's the reason Baker football is what it is. He is one of the winningest coaches ever. The practice field was named after him. It's right over here. I remember watching his practices and listening to him talk after giving a speech to his team. He wasn't a yeller, he was a motivator, and when he talked, his team listened. They broke down every day and said the word "one," and he would explain what that meant. And to this day, since I've coached, I've always had my team do the same thing: break down, and we say "one," and I got that from him. And he's one of the most amazing coaches and men that have been around this university and all their sports programs. And so this is a practice field where they would do the thing every day, and this is where they'd win their games every day with him as their leader. And he's a huge part of the legacy of this university and this stadium. Baker's a university that's entirely built on tradition and history. Every building on that campus has a really cool and unique history that goes way back, such as this stadium. Every building has similar stories about how it came about. Baker tends to upgrade and renovate and keep the old historic look, which is important. It's a 170-year-old university with an awesome academic reputation and so many alum that have a ton of Baker pride. So I think, anytime you have something this historic and still functional, you just keep that history alive and keep telling these stories and pass them down to generation to generation. And it's still, upgraded to where it's improved and used, but still got the history about it.